It's interesting hearing from Ollie there. Another bad week for Man United. Just how big do you feel the problems are for Man United right now?
Oh, massive. The gap's massive. If you look, I'm judging Man United on winning Premier League titles, not getting top 4 or top 6. This is Manchester United. I keep on going back to it. This is the biggest club in the world, in my opinion. They're a million miles off. A million miles off. You've seen the twist in where Liverpool are now to where Man United are, where Liverpool were, what, 5 years, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's bad, and you're sitting there, you're looking, you're thinking, how did it get like this? How? You know, Liverpool have rebuilt a team, a special team as well, and Man United have gone the other way, and I don't know what's happened. I really don't. It's mind-blowing. It's scary. You're watching them play yesterday, and it's, you know, you're looking, you're thinking that it's not like an old Man United team. I don't want to go back to, as Ollie said, the 90s. You know, that was an unbelievable football team. But you'd expect Newcastle to be hanging on, the goalie to have one of them special games. That wasn't the case at all. They had a little spell in the game, and that was about it.
Jamie, it's interesting hearing from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there. Sorry to the fans, and he's saying that top 6, never mind top 4, looks like it'll be hard. Can you see them turning it around, finishing in the, let's say, top 6?
No,
not at all for you.
No, for me, they're miles off it. For me, they look like a team that are playing with no manager. There's no philosophy. There's no direction. There's no ideas. You know, they're playing football, they're out there. It's like a bunch of individuals that are just turning up on a Saturday and playing a game. They're miles off it. And, look, Ollie, I feel sorry for Ollie to a certain degree because he can only do what he's got in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at their players and I look when every time the team sheet comes out and I look at it and think, is that really Man United?
In terms of the players and the ability they've got?
Yeah, the players on the team sheet. I'm looking at it thinking, is this really the best of Man United, what they've got? You know, and Solskjaer, to be fair, has brought in Dan James, he's brought in Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and they've actually done all right. They look all right. But they're miles away in terms of what they're doing as a team and as a club.
Merce, on that, Ollie, mixed views, it seems, at the minute from the fans. Do you think he is the right man to turn this around? As Jamie was alluding to there, there's a lot of wider issues, it seems. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the right man for the job for you?
I'm with Jamie. I feel a bit sorry for him. I think he's in at the wrong time. I said earlier, you can't sell goals. Sell goals. Lukaku was their goal scorer. He might not chase the full back down, but he puts the ball in the back of the net. That's what it's all about. Who takes this job? This was a lifetime job. This was like you manage England, you manage Man United. Yeah. They're the two. I'm looking there now, and I wouldn't. And I don't want this to sound. But I wouldn't see a queue round the block. I don't, because they're a million miles off. A million miles off. So if you're coming in, you're thinking, right, where am I taking this team? This is a 600, 700, 8, probably £1 billion, well, 100 million or whatever. What would it be?
To get them going where they are?
900
I think they need
million,
5 or 6
800
players.
million.
You think 5 or 6 players? 800 million.
I would say 7. I would think a manager like Allegri who come in next summer, someone like that. If you want to give Man United a chance, you'd have to say 700 million.
700 million to get them back to where they were
I'd want 7 players. And in this day and age, you know, you ain't buying anybody for less than £70 million if you want a top draw player.
The only issue I've got with Ollie is I think it's tough for him. It's tough for him at the minute, but we all understood what he was trying to do. He wanted to get some young players in and bring them through and make the fans excited. The problem is that you've got rid of players who have been there and done it. All right, they may have not been performing, haven't been at the best. But as a manager, I look at him and think, all right, have you got rid of them players because you weren't prepared to get the best out of them and deal with these egos and deal with these characters, and you think it's easy to just get some young lads in and, you know, they'll put up and shut up, really, to a certain degree, and they'll try and do what they can, but really, I feel sorry for the young lads that are coming in because they're looking they're looking at leaders on the pitch, and who are they? You know, Fred, you know, Pogba, he's not been a leader for them. So you've got Dan James coming in, you know, McTominay coming in, gives everything. But you still need them experienced players to step up and get a grip of them if they're not doing it. And they haven't got it. So them boys are out there on their own. They're looking after themselves. And that's what it looks like.
We're going to have a look in a little bit more detail at some of the results under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because the thing that jumps out for us is the is how different they are since his start. Well, let's not forget that he's unbeaten in his first 12 Premier League games, Merce. Won 10 of those 12. They then lost to Arsenal, then he got the job permanently. Only won 4 of his last 17. This is a comparison since the end of Solskjaer's 12-game unbeaten start. And as you can see, worse than Newcastle's. So why has it turned around so much? Because when he was the caretaker manager, it was so successful at the start. It's a dramatic change, isn't it?
I think the players just went out and they played with a freedom that, you know, with Mourinho, and then all of a sudden they went out and went, oh, we'll show him. And they went out, and let's be honest, in some of the games they were fortunate. You know, I watched a lot of them games that could have easily gone the other way. These games that are going that way now could have easily gone that way when he was on that run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at the start of the season, when they were on that run, they would have beat Newcastle 1-0.
Yeah.
But now they're losing to Newcastle 1-0, and it was thin lines. They scored 2. They scored a last-minute goal against Burnley at home, and you know, Arsenal were on the rack at a time in a game. So I think they got a little bit carried away straight away, giving him the job, in my opinion. You know, in my opinion, but I do feel sorry for him. When you're an inexperienced manager, it's hard. You know, I was manager at Walsall, not even. I mean, this man's the manager of the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
I was manager at Walsall, and when you get on a run, you just don't see where you're going to get another win.
Yeah.
You don't. It's horrible. And you only can get that with experience. And these, like Roy Hodgson's, you know, he goes to Palace and he's cool and he's had it, he's been there, and he just goes with it and they get out of trouble. He'll be scratching his head, he'll be panicking every game. He won't be looking forward to Saturdays.
Jamie, we can see on screen now the results this season, and of course this is in all competitions. Looking at all those results as a collective, was Newcastle the result on the weekend? Was that the biggest low point, do you think?
I think, yeah, because of what they're coming off the back of as well, you know, with the Alkmaar result, poor performances, West Ham getting beat. You know, really, I mean, look, Chelsea, first day of the season, were good. You know, it wasn't a 4-0 for me. No. Leicester, they rode their luck, you know, and they won 1-0 when really and truthfully it wasn't a great performance. And then you go and win 1-0 against Astana. If you look at them results,
if you looked at them fixtures at the start of the season, and you got 2 of the big boys in there, and they're both at home in Chelsea and Arsenal. If you're a Man United fan, you'll be thinking, we should be in the top 2 or 3 here with them fixtures. You know, a lot of them teams are not in the top half. You know, you wouldn't expect them to be top half teams, or they're going to be around that. And that was a nice, kind lot of fixtures for Man United. A kind fixtures.
Currently in the bottom half of the table, Man United, Jamie.
No disrespect to Newcastle and Palace, but they were kind of favourites to get relegated this season. They've beaten Man United, you know, and you've got to look at it and think, they're not careful, Man U. They could keep not picking up results. They're not going to be thinking about top 6. They're going to be thinking about staying up.
Well, James, come on.
Staying up, you think?
Seriously.
Listen, you can't get...
It's that serious for Man United?
They need to get results. At the end of the day, if you look at teams like Arsenal and teams that are not doing, who are doing well, but not playing well, that's what Man United were doing. They were getting results. The problem they've got now is they're not playing well and they're getting beat. There's a difference. That's when all of a sudden you're in trouble.
Yeah, we can see the table to the corner of us, 12th in the league currently. You alluded to it earlier, Paul, about never selling strikers, never sell goals. 16 goals in the last 17 matches. You said it was obviously a mistake, Lukaku going and not replacing him. Lots been said about Marcus Rashford, only 21 years of age, should I say. In the game against Newcastle, Rashford had no shots and just 1 touch in the opposition box. Now, do you look at that and think he's not doing enough, or are we being a bit harsh because maybe he's not getting the service?
He's not a centre-forward. He's not a natural centre-forward. If I play with Ian Wright and I played with Alan Shearer of England and people like that, if you won 3 or 4-0 and they never scored, they'd be happy for the team, but they'd be devastated they didn't score. Rashford could be in a team that win 9-0, and if he never scored, he wouldn't. He hasn't got that.
You wouldn't
instinct.
think
He'd be pleased for the team, and that'd be it. You need goal scorers. He's not a goal scorer. He's not a natural goal scorer. You know, like a Gary Lineker or Alan Shearer's and your Ian Wrights and people like that. The ball bounces off a defender and they tap it in. You go, well, that was lucky. No, it weren't lucky. They were there. They know. Yeah. And you've got to have that getting in the box when the ball's out wide and plays being built up. Centre forwards who are goal scorers, they get in the box and it ends up on their head or on the end of their foot.
I'm going to disagree with you to a certain degree.
You can't disagree with me one bit when you just said Man United are going to get relegated. Seriously. I'm surprised that chair didn't go back and you was like, out.
Jamie, now you've had time to think about that. Do you stand by that you think they could be
in
relegation?
There's no one deserves to be in the Premier League just because of who they are. You know, Leeds went down with a great squad. West Ham went down with a great squad. It can happen, you know. I got relegated with Wolves and we looked at it and thought there's no way we should have got relegated. It can happen. So, you know, until they need to get results. And at the end of the day, when you're not playing well, you need to get results. On Rashford, I look at Rashford and think, yeah, he's an inside forward. He's not a number 9. But I see some of the runs he makes, and he makes great runs. If you watch the run that Mane made and Milner put him in at the weekend, it's a great ball.
It's a pass
It's a pass, but he's not getting that service. Rashford's making the runs and the ball's not coming. In the end, you get frustrated. Because you're looking at it thinking, I'm making all these runs off the ball and there's not a player in midfield that's actually putting me in. It's all sideways,
He's still not got
backwards.
a lot of goals.
No.
Not a lot. How many goals in open play?
Not a lot in open play.
Not a lot. I mean, penalties, you know, no, I don't... I know you ain't as good as the people who provide you. I know that, you know what I mean? You could be the best player in the world, and if you ain't getting the service, you ain't scoring goals, because you can't pick the ball off of the goalie and beat 10 players, you know what I mean? It's not Pele and escape to victory here. But this is like... well, it's true though. But I just don't see him as a natural goal scorer. Yeah. He wants to provide. Lukaku had no interest. Lukaku, get the ball, lay it off. I'm in the box. I just want to score goals. Rashford does too much for me. He does too much. He needs to concentrate on scoring goals.